Aloha kako.
Oye, mi gente.
This is our second video of our CocoCast. So today's topic comes from a comment left on our last video. Shout out to my grandma. Thank you. So we'll just start right off and get right into it. So we're going to be talking about the similarities and differences that we've noticed between our cultures growing up and then the past 2 years living in England. So, first topic is...
The first is food. For me, growing up, a lot of Puerto Rican Spanish food, lots of chicken, it's not spicy, but a lot of flavors, and fried, tostones, mofongo, which is like plantains fried, a lot of fried stuff, and that's from my mom's side. Not really a lot. I mean, fish and chips from my dad's side. That's about it. What about you,
At
Mama?
least that's the same, fish and chips. It's a big English thing too. For me personally, so we've got the cultural Hawaiian food, which is like kulua pig, poi, lau lau, like obviously foreign words to people that don't know what Hawaiian food is. But then also like in Hawaii, because of the history of like immigration during plantation days and stuff, we've got a lot of Asian influence. So there's a lot of things with like rice, curry, salmon, like those are like things a lot of people like here. But the one thing that I noticed living there, like my Asian, when we say Asian, that's like Japanese, Chinese, like, but then when they say Asian, like in England, it's more of like Indian. So like, yeah, it's kind of weird. But that's like, they'll be like, oh, like an Asian man, but it'll be like somebody from India or Pakistan, which is like, cause they're in Asia too, but it's just like a different, but like when we say Asian here, it's like, oh, like he's Japanese, Chinese, so like it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
food over there is just, it's literally like, listen, fish and chips from New Zealand is like real fish and chips. I'm not even biased when I'm saying that. Fish and chips over there, even the fish and chips over there, it's just, honestly, it's just, I don't want to shit on it. It's like low quality food that's not seasoned at all. Like the only season that they might use is salt.
Like the batter, the bread.
Yeah.
And salt.
And they have a lot of, also over there, they have a lot of weird combinations. Like, what's the one you get? Like,
I get this. After a night out, and I feel so sick the next morning after eating it. But it's cheesy chips and gravy. That be smacking sometimes though. It's
yeah,
it's
they have
good.
a lot of weird food
like
combinations.
It, but I
they love
potatoes.
their breakfast.
Ooh,
Potatoes.
Yeah. Potatoes.
They have good breakfast.
Like potatoes. If you
English
know me,
breakfast
you know I like potatoes. Like,
wait, what kind of potato? I like potatoes.
Any
Potatoes? I love potatoes. They have what else? What else is like?
Where we are, Yorkshire puddings. That's a staple that they have. Like, it's basically like a cup of bread.
Here's a picture of it right here on the screen.
Yeah. And I put gravy. I've had a couple, they call it Sunday dinners or like Sunday roast.
Sunday roast.
Vegetables. When my house did it, the girls that I live with, we did chicken in a bag. It's literally like you buy chicken and you cook it in the bag. So we did that. Like we did parsnips, carrots. Did
you have pigs in a blanket?
Yeah, pigs in a blanket. So sausages wrapped in bacon, gravy, stuffing. So it's kind of like a Christmas meal, but for like every Sunday.
So when we think of bacon, we think of that like crispy, like regular bacon. I'll put a picture right here.
like
in England,
crispy.
their bacon.
You can flop
Yeah.
it. You can like.
Yeah, no, it's not even cooked. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's still pink.
It's ham. It's ham. It's literally ham. It's like microwaved ham. Oh, that pisses me off. Like their breakfasts are really good, even though it's just
beans.
eggs,
They like
sausage.
beans
and
too.
they like
They eat
red
a lot of
beans.
beans.
Red beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about England's not very. A lot of it in England is like
It's a lot of-
international food.
yeah.
Like they love Indian food.
Yeah.
They love Chinese food there. A lot of takeout. There's no like when you think they don't have any like. Now that I think about it, they don't have any just English restaurants. There's no such thing as an English restaurant.
Yeah. That would be like.
Unless
if
it's
it
like a
sells
cod
Sunday
night.
dinner or something.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is where do we get those pina coladas that were
Where? At Slug and Lettuce?
Slug and Lettuce. That's the
Yeah.
only like English restaurant I can think about. That's not
Oh, I haven't even
They
been there
have,
to
they have
eat.
food.
You went there
They
to
have
eat?
food.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, obviously
Good
after,
cocktails.
you know, we. Yeah, obviously after. It wasn't just to eat. It was
well,
something
I
to put in
mean,
our
yeah.
stomach before, you know, World
But that's
War
just
III
us,
happened.
like, being there for 2 years. Like, I don't know. For my English friends, if we're wrong, take us to a restaurant that has proper English food, and we'll do, like, a review. But that's just, like, what we've noticed being there so far. So,
The next is language.
language.
You should know a lot about that.
Yes.
Because you speak English now.
So the reason why he says that is because like all my friends are English besides these bozos. But so like when I'm around them, I guess my English friends will say I don't because I know I don't. But my friends that are from like America, they'll be like, "Why are you speaking in an English accent for?" I'd be like, "I'm not. Like I'm speaking normal." They're like, "No,
Especially
you're
when
not.
she's drunk.
No, you're not."
Especially when she's drunk.
Whatever. I don't want to hear it. But anyways.
Yeah.
So in terms
So,
of language,
for the
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
terminology. Because obviously they
Yeah, a
speak
lot of it.
English, so it's not. Obviously, well,
I
he
mean,
speaks Spanish. So.
Arguably, like they don't even speak English like the way they
But
talk.
that's
Like
so that's
I've
like
gotten used to it, but
yeah, but that's because, I mean, just like anywhere else. So like if you're in Hawaii, somebody from Waianae will speak differently from somebody in Hawaii Kai. Like still English but different accent. Same thing as like in the rest of the states, you like somebody from California, Mississippi, and New York. Like they would all speak differently, but they're all speaking English. So the same thing in England. Like if you're from the south, like London, or for like from the north, from South Shields or like Newcastle, like there's two completely different accents.
Newcastle, Geordie.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's a lot of my friends are Geordie, which is like I guess said like the one of the harder accents because it's like the more north you are, you're closer to Scotland, so it's like more like rough, I guess. Whereas like in London, you've got that's like what you would see on movies and stuff, like more like posh, softer accents.
For me, because
Yeah.
also my grandfather English and stuff, and my but also for me like watching YouTube, I used to be all into like English channels, so it wasn't that much of a big difference for me because also my dad already has an accent, and and all my family has accents, English accents too, but so it wasn't as much of a big difference for me. But I know for all my like American friends or like the homie,
Yeah. Who's like only
for
ever
him,
been around like one type of like way of people speaking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like coming to me for translations, and like I had to like translate a lot for him.
Or,
and
like,
he's
some-
still messed up.
Even sometimes like when I'll bring the homies out, like or like when they'll come over to my house and we're with the girls, I'll like understand them and then they'll like look at me and be like, what did she just say? I'll be like, you didn't understand.
Oh my god, the amount of times where like the homie will be in the room just listening to everything the girl says, and then she'll leave, and he'd be like, yo, what did she say? Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's why, like, when I come home for breaks and stuff, and then I go back, I'm like, I need like a week or so to adjust to like turn on my English accent translator in my head. But like, I guess in terms of terminology, they have like certain words that are different. So like, a flashlight would be a torch.
Yeah.
The sidewalk would be pavement.
Trash is the bin.
Yeah, the bin. It's just like little things. Like,
yeah.
It's not so much, yeah. It's not foreign, but at the same time, like, they both make sense. It's just called something different, but yeah. So,
yeah. Next is education. Well, for us, we can both, I'm gonna jump on this, we can both agree. I don't know if this is English education in general. York St. John is extremely easy. Compared to like some of my friends in colleges here, they're just like complaining. They're like, I got two essays every week and stuff. For us,
we're only in class 7 hours a week. That's it. And then we only get graded on one assignment at the end of the semester.
And it's
and we get our bachelor's in 3 years instead of 4, because we don't do like liberal arts. Like, it's just strictly your degree classes. That's it.
Yeah, there's no majors, there's no minors, there's no
Yeah, so that way you don't get to like, you don't choose your classes. They tell you what you take for the degree that you chose. Yeah, so you don't get to pick and choose, but
honestly would recommend it though.
Yeah. Go. And it's not like it's so much more money. Like, I know I'm paying the same exact amount I would be paying going into like, cuz I know one of my friends goes to like a small school in Colorado. He pays the same amount of flights as I do to go to England. Like, because he has to catch like his main flight and then like a smaller plane to a smaller airport, like, so literally like the cost is pretty much the same and you're getting a totally different experience. So
like, because I went to a college prep Catholic high school. Oh, that's real cool to say. But and 110% my high school was 10 times harder than the university. I hope York St. John is not watching this and just like...
No, it's a really good education though. Like, personally, even like how you said like your friends are grumbling to you about having so much homework and all that stuff, but the difference is, and I think that I've noticed, is that American colleges, it depends, not all of them are the same. And college is the same thing as university for Americans, but in England they have their college is like, it's college and then university. It's two different things. But I feel like American universities they teach a lot more like textbook, whereas like for us, we have a lecture and then we have a lab where we're doing exactly what we learned in the lecture. So it's like a lot more hands-on.
And going off of that, I'm so glad I'm going to. Not so glad. There's some pros and cons to both, but university in England, you just have so much more freedom than if you go into college in America. So much more freedom. Like, we literally live in separate houses in the city, and like we cook. We have our own kitchens. Every day, like, we commute. It's literally like living on your own kind of. Because like next year I have a apartment by myself, like. And in America, I remember the colleges I was looking at, it was just like tiny dorm rooms shared with someone else, and like communal bathrooms at the end of the hall with
a private room would be like expensive, like at a college, university.
No kitchen, no nothing.
So, and I think
I like it a lot.
yeah, you're treated more like an adult.
As an adult.
Well, because and that's another thing. Like their drinking age is 18. So like, when you're 18, like you're an adult
who
already.
follows that? Who follows that in America? Come on
okay,
now.
America's like
These
ages
meddling
for
kids are up to
everything
no
is, like...
good nowadays. These meddling kids.
But it's kind of like, no, I won't get into that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once you're 18 there, you're an adult. Like, you're on your own, you're living whatever. So, but in America, you know, it's all like, 18 you can do this, but you can't do this. Like, but 18 there is like...
Yeah. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Even 16, I'd say there.
Yeah, 16 to 18, but...
Yeah. Culture.
It's kind of... That one's kind of... Yeah, from a Polynesian, Hawaiian perspective, and I'm sure it's kind of... I don't want to be racist in a way. I'm not being racist. There's just so many differences. Like, the only... I just don't want to offend nobody.
I'm English. I won't get offended. Like.
So am I. My great grandma on my dad's side is from the south of England. Salcombe, I think it's called. But like for us culturally, we've got dancing, chants, like rituals. I don't think like English people have that.
England is very much
but I'll tell you one thing that they have, those like their buildings, their architecture, oh my gosh, that's what blew me away.
Yeah.
Because coming from Hawaii, it's like natural things. So like our old things from history is all like rock walls and like, you know, like stuff to do with nature. Whereas like them, they've got these big like churches and like York wearing like those city walls. And it's different histories, you know. But it's not something you can really compare. I can't really find similarities because there's just a lot of differences.
Yeah, like Latino, Spanish culture to English, they couldn't be farther from, like, different from each other. Like, Polynesian and Spanish have so much more in common than English and then, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not more rich in culture and stuff. It's more friendly. It's more welcoming.
Yeah.
It's more like, for instance, like, in Latino culture, like even the guys will kiss each other on the cheek when they say hello to each other. In England, you'll literally just shake each other's hand.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
And I think it's more
maybe a hug is the most
and
intimate
that's like
you'll get.
when you're close after a while.
Yeah.
Like.
But English is very it's good, it's proper, it's funny, very sarcastic.
Yeah.
It's like
depends on where you go. Some people are pretty raunchy and they call them chavs.
There's
but we're not
English
around
is very English there's the good because we're talking about the good because all of the bad English is the worst.
I mean, there's bad people everywhere. There's always
that's what I'm saying.
There's the good and the bad of
the
every
good
culture
English
and place. So
good English are very polite and they like to help and they're very like welcoming and stuff. So
that's what I like about York too. It's like a small town, but it's still like a big city, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
And then like what the impact it has on us, like what we've learned and realized from living there. Honestly, so much.
Yeah. I think for me the main thing was just like because it's so different from here, like whereas like in Hawaii it's all natural beauty, like you've got green mountains, blue ocean, like everything around you is just nature. Whereas, like, you go there, and like I said before, like, the architecture, like, it's so different. Like, even, like, the way the houses are built, like, they've got brick houses. It's like the simple little things that I don't know, because it's so different from where I grew up, it made me appreciate it, like appreciate home a lot more, but then also like feel very grateful to be experiencing something so different from like how I grew up or like what I was used to seeing for 18 years. So
for us, it's kind of like, it hasn't really hit us now yet, but like when we're talking to kids, like we went to university in England.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like other kids, like when I hang out with my friends here, like they all like went to local colleges, and then there's just me who's just like, and to me, like whenever I tell someone I go from here, I go to university in England, they're always just like, they're mind blown, but for me it's a norm, and that's why I'm kind of, it hasn't really hit me yet, and how much more culturally aware we are. Like we literally just embraced and took on a whole nother culture, and like it's a norm to us, you know what I mean? Like in England, it's, I come back and sometimes here I'm like surprised at some of the stuff, and like because I'm so used to it over there.
Definitely. Great experience. I love it.
But that's it for today's video. Oh, you almost saw a little by the way, I know I look like I just look like I went to vacation in Japan or something. I came back with some merchandise, but I like it.
But
it's nice and comfy.
Thanks for watching. If you have any other topics you want to see or what we want to do, always comment down below.